2 pins. Pull that pin out. That pin out too. Screen folds outwards. Same for the other side here. One pin. 2 pins and the screen folds outwards. Got this box that needs folding for bridges. To release the box, press the catch in on the side here. Lift the trigger, drop the latch. And the box simply folds back like so. The next thing you'll need to do is to remove the dining table to the top helm. Doing simply pulls up the post. Disengage the post from its socket. Side little lock in here. We have 2 gas bottles, which is the only thing that are allowed to remain in this locker. So both bottles will be turned on. They're on an automatic switch over, so you haven't got to turn any bottles off or on. The main thing in here is the emergency control valve. So if you smell gas on board, isolate it there, give us a call and we'll get somebody out to you as soon as possible. Right, so we need that on for operation of gas. Close the lid up. Now, inside the craft. Inside the little cabinet here we have 2 isolation switches. One is labelled hob and one is labelled oven. So at the moment they're in the off position, which we ask you to travel with them in that position. And when you're ready to do your cooking, turn them on in line with the pipes. And your gas services should be able to ignite. Before you ignite your cooker or your hob, have the sliding door open just for a little bit of ventilation inside the boat. Then turn the control. Does the left hand ring on the first one. Centre control does the middle ring. And then the right hand control does the right hand ring. Do not close this down until the hob has cooled completely. Right, for the oven, a little catch on the top of the door there, needs to be in an up position. Push the control in, turn it to the left or anti-clockwise for the oven control, turn it to the right or clockwise for the grill control. And as you push it in, the igniter will come on as well. And once finished, turn it off. Then isolate the gas once again. Right, so with our shore power system, we have an inboard system, which is an inverter only, operates off the battery bank. Once you turn that on, you'll have a blue light in the top end there. That becomes live. You can operate things like our microwave and our TVs. It also gives us control over the 240 volt sockets for mobile phone charging, laptop charging, whatever necessary need you'll have for the 240 volt system. So now she's live. If you're not using the inverter, especially at night time, turn it to the off position just to conserve power. But if you do want to plug in, click to charger only, and then we'll go and plug the boat in at the back. Right, so in the cupboard at the back here, it's where your rond anchor bag will be stored. So you have 2 rond anchors and your hammer in the bag. We also have our shore power lead. So the way I normally operate the shore power is we plug the boat end in first. Make sure the cap is nice and screwed up tight. We then trail our lead to ensure we don't have a trip hazard. We also need to check for the credit on the post. So on the back of most of these posts we have a little meter. our ones always have credit on. When you go to a Broads Authority meter, we have allocated places where you can get your shore power card. Normally contactless now. So check the meter for credit. Once we know we have credit, we can then plug our boat in, like so. Right, so with the shore power system live, we'll then have the mains on the right hand side of the panel, and either one of these orange lights on. That just to show you that the batteries are charging up. Whilst on shore power, we have our sockets available and also hot water immersion heater, so you can have hot water overnight heating up ready for the morning. So to operate the TV system, we need the inverter on or charger on. We need our TV booster switched on. On this boat in particular, the rear TV will only portray the same picture on the forward TV. Just wait for everything to load up. We want 3 green lights on this unit here. Right, so the TV system's now active. We can select most channels we want. We have Sky News on this as well.
That sounds great.
The TV's
Royal London have been looking after families for over
DVD player on
150 years. Your fixed monthly payments are guaranteed to never go up.
Once we finish using the television, turn both of the devices off. Remember to flick off your TV booster. Right, Zircon Emblem has a warm air heating system. Simple to activate. Press the 3 little heat waves. You'll then get this radius bar come up, and that's your temperature in which you can set. So to decline the temperature and lower it, press the downward arrow. Increase the temperature, press the upward arrow. If you want to cut it off at any time during this period, let it run for 10 minutes on an initial startup, and then you can turn it off as and when you feel. Refrigerator, freezer compartment in there, and a variable temperature control up in the top corner, depending on how full your fridge is. Depends on what temperature you have it on. There we go. Right, so on this boat we have a leaf table. It's up like so. Underneath, if you just get under there, you have 2 little flaps. So if you want to bend that down whilst using it as a passageway, pull the flaps in, and that controls the drop of the table leaf. Right, to remove the table, nice and simply, put that like so. Disengage the legs. The table then sinks on the floor, and then we can pull the berth conversion out in the front end of the craft. Toilet has a 2-stage flush, so you have eco flush on the small button and a full flush on the bigger button. Press them both together, flushes on the whole system through. And the shower compartment. Right, so on this side of the shower we have a temperature control. This side of the shower we have a tap. So if we turn the control on, adjust the temperature accordingly, depending on your own preference. And then you need to engage the shower drain just to allow the water to drain away. Turn the tap off. So this is your dashboard on Zircon Emblem. Here we have GPS system, operated by this switch here. We have wiper control, so we have a slow speed and a fast speed. Our horn, water pump switch with your water gauge. When that gets into the red, if you flick that off just to prevent any damage to the pump, be appreciated. And this switch doesn't be touched, or isn't touched, sorry. Right, the rest of the control, we have our fuel gauge and our toilet gauge. Toilet gauge gets into the red. You want to think about getting a pump out. You come back to Ferry Marina for that, free of charge. go anywhere else at maybe £10 to £15 per tank. On the right hand side of your control panel here, we have a green light and 4 red lights. So this red light here is your oil pressure. You've got your engine temperature, domestic batteries and engine batteries. If you get any of the red lights on whilst travelling, we ask you to moor up, cut the boat out and give us a call as soon as possible. Right, startup procedure on this boat. We pull the throttle out, push that forward to apply some throttle, turn the ignition to heat for 10 to 12 seconds. Then turn it to start. And the key will remain in the run position, your green light will be engaged and your tachometer will be working. Give it a little rev just to excite the alternator, get the batteries charging, and then engage your throttle back into the central position. So now we have forward and reverse gear. And back into neutral there. Just stop your engine, push the button there, and turn your ignition to the off position. Right, this here is a Vitas Baltus thruster control. Press the button once, press it again to engage the controller itself. Port, starboard thrust. This pushes the front of the boat into the direction wanted for mooring up. Press it once to turn the controller off. If you want to change from lower helm to upper helm, make sure both controls are in neutral position. Disengage this, and on that sign there, that will show you which helm you're positioned in. Show them that little control on that one. On the upper helm, we have GPS, cockpit lights down here, your horn, your bow thruster controller, your throttle and gear control, and your instrument panel for the engine. Again, any of these 3 red lights come on whilst travelling, moor up, cut the engine out and give us a call as soon as possible. Running, we should have water flowing out of the exhaust pipe. If we haven't got any water, that's a sign that we may be overheating. Just bear that in mind. And we never untie the boat until the boat is running, and never stop the engine until the boat is tied up.